Hello! Welcome back here. I am going to be talking about the benefits of co-working, which is essentially body doubling. Some people call these power hours. There are so many things that we can do during these times. So, go ahead and get started. Have you ever tried co-working? Right? Some forms of co-working is where you get online via Zoom or something and you can see each other's faces and yet you work quietly together. Okay, body doubling can be working in your house at the same time as somebody else. Okay, so whether this is virtual or in person, they both have their absolute benefits. So I have personally been attending co-working sessions for 6 months now, 5 days a week. Okay, so I'm being completely transparent. I am leading these, so I have to show up, but it has been an absolute game changer for me. And I'm going to tell you why, because there are some crazy good benefits, especially if you're neurodivergent or ADHD, okay? So some of the benefits that came out of this 6 months of co-working for myself is that I didn't realize how setting aside a full hour every single day to simply work on my business or things I've been avoiding was going to completely change the trajectory of my business. So I personally use co-working for things that I know I need to do every single day or something I'm avoiding or struggling to complete, because when you're co-working, you can have the accountability of someone else there to be able to keep you moving, to be able to check in like, hey, did you get it done? Why didn't you get it done? Right? Or if you're on co-working sessions with myself, which we call power hours in my treehouse, you can actually ask for the support to keep yourself moving, to get that thing done. And, we cheer you on along the way because everything deserves to be celebrated, every little minute step, because those minute steps add up to a huge progress in the end. Hey, I'm Carrie Legal, and I am a productivity strategist for neurodivergent ADHD entrepreneurs to get you more productive in your business, your household, and your life, because they are constantly intertwined. Okay, so if you are like, oh, that's me, I need more of this, go ahead and keep listening and make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I drop one new video every single week just for you. So in plain, co-working is going to be where you're body doubling, either virtually or physically. So it keeps you accountable for the task you've been struggling with or you've been avoiding, because it's now visible. Either you physically said it out loud on the call or you have typed it in the chat and now it's out there into the world. And now your brain's like, okay, we got to do it. So you've probably just got over your first stumbling block, actually getting started on the task. 1 is showing up. 2 is saying, this is what I need to do. And 3 is actually starting it. So this is really like the first one to really get yourself moving in there. So now you have this nice, safe space to be able to say, I'm working on this or I'm struggling with this. And you ask your questions, you voice that this is what you're working on, and you're going to start it. You are going to ask for support if you need to, and you're going to get moving. So here you go. Have you ever experienced where working on the dishes by yourself is super difficult because no one else is in the room and you're just this is essentially correlating to tasks that you don't like to do, right? I don't like dishes. Some people do, but I hate dishes. Let me know. Can you relate? What's your household responsibility you absolutely hate to do? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to know. Mine is dishes for sure. So let's say you're doing the dishes and your partner or your kids or someone walks in and they start working alongside you. They just start doing something and suddenly it becomes easier to keep going. That is what body doubling is. You're essentially working together with somebody, not even necessarily on related tasks, but they're in the room, they're on the screen, that they're working, and it's tricking our mind into going, oh yeah, let's keep going. So in my household, I institute this, okay? So we all work on household responsibilities at the same time. In case you aren't sure, household responsibilities is equal to chores. Chores in my brain has a negative thing to it, but your household responsibilities makes me seem big and not it's not negative. So we use household responsibilities in my house. So the biggest part of this is that you don't feel alone. Someone else is working with you and you have a common goal, right? Your common goal is to finish that task that you're working on together. We have talked about it, how we do this co-working, this body doubling inside our house. Now, how do we do this in business? I've already kind of touched on it, via Zoom and things like that. You're working silently together. But the best part about this is you hop on, in my case, when we do co-working sessions in my business, we hop on Zoom. You can have your camera on or off, but it's encouraged to have your camera on because then we know that you're present. But I understand that some people are like, I don't really like if I'm recording a video, having my face on the screen and like recording on my phone or something, or going live or something, it's distracting to me to see my face not where it is. Like my face, like my eyes want to dart to my face, which is not the camera, right? So I will turn it off for that, but I'll let someone know, hey, I'm recording a video, so I'm going to turn off my camera real quick. But it's keeping myself accountable to make sure I turn it back on. So how we ended up doing this is we chat for a hot second, we connect, because connection is huge, especially if you own an online business and you work from home, so you're alone a lot potentially, or at least not with other adults and all the things like you would if you worked in, you know, a factory or corporate or something like that. So after we've then stated what we are going to work on, we then go silent, we mute ourselves, you can turn off your camera if you choose, and then we get to work. And then at the end of the session, we check in and we're like, okay, let's share our wins, let's share our successes. What did we get done? What didn't we get done? Why didn't we get it done? It's all reflection based. It's learning. What did I learn from this? It's not shame based. We do not shame ourselves ever. Okay. It's all a learning experience. So for a full hour, I'm able to focus on the 1 to 3 tasks that I've decided to set out on doing during that co-working power hour session. So if there's something that you've been hardcore avoiding, this is a great place to do that, because you're like, oh, that's what we use these things for. Like, oh man, I've been avoiding calling a doctor. I've been avoiding sending this invoice. Oh, just whatever that is, whatever you are avoiding is a great place. It feels like you keep moving. You know, other people are working on things that they're avoiding. You feel very heard and seen. Another big thing, especially with me with the co-working, you know how some people are like, oh, man, if I tell them what I'm going to work on, like my brain is just going to shut down and I'm not going to be able to finish it and then I'm going to feel really bad about it. We know when we're in that state. We know it. All right. And you're probably thinking back right now like, oh, like when I voice that I'm going to do something, sometimes my brain goes, I want to do the opposite. So there are times where I give, or so it's an open invitation to give the people that are on the call. Like, I'm avoiding some things right now. Sometimes they're like, yes, I need to get it done. And there's other times where I'm like, if I tell you what I'm doing, I'm not going to do it. And so they'll just be like, I'm working today on my business. We're going to see what happens. Like, that's okay. So I give them permission to not hold themselves accountable for a specific task and just simply they're going to be working for the full hour. This alleviates a lot of stress, alleviates a lot of frustration, just so many things, but you can still continue to work. And you might have not heard about, like, if you are doing the dishes, like you tell your spouse you're going to do the dishes and then suddenly you've done no dishes and 5 loads of laundry. Sometimes our brains like to play tricks on us and be like, hey, just kidding, we're not going to do it. Like when we make our schedule for the day and then suddenly we're like, oh no, none of that happened. Yeah, our brains like to play tricks on us sometimes. And so we have to work with our brain. And so when you give yourself permission to be able to just work on what feels good and what, like, obviously if it has a deadline, like your brain's already like, we need to do that. So sometimes we need to call on accountability and sometimes we don't, as far as getting things done. So here we have a sense of community as well. When we're co-working, body doubling, power hours, it's a sense of community. There's someone else there when this big lonely world at times in the online business world. So we don't feel alone. And oh man, I love it when I don't feel alone. I love my clients. I love just seeing their smiling faces show up on that Zoom call. And the best part is when you go to a co-working session with people you get to cheer them on. You have a sense of like actual like genuine support and happiness for them when they are ticking those tasks off, when they are doing those things they're avoiding, when they're making those big moves. And so you're able to really, so then they reciprocate that back to you, and oh my gosh, like the validation and all of those things just come, just warms your heart. So all of these things put together, these are all benefits of co-working. So I'm going to say them in a very set 6 benefits of co-working. All right. So number 1 was the accountability. Number 2 was body doubling. Number 3 is you don't feel alone. Number 4 is focused time. Number 5 is a sense of community. And number 6 is you're more productive in general. All of those together, you're more productive in general. So if you are someone that's like, oh, I kind of like this. There are plenty of places out there that have free co-working, and you can absolutely join in on some of those places. But if you're looking for a consistent community with the co-working involved as well, we have consistent co-working sessions Monday through Friday in my Hyperfocus Treehouse mentorship program. And I call them power hours because like we are kicking butt in there with all of these benefits, and then there's much more to the program as well. I've created this space specifically for you as a neurodivergent ADHD entrepreneur. As an ADHD entrepreneur, I needed this space and I couldn't find it the way I needed it. And so I created it as a productivity strategist. I'm able to put those different things together to make you the most productive that you can be. So like seriously though, we literally hop on Zoom Monday through Friday for 1 hour and we work on our business or something we're avoiding, whatever that is. We do what we need to do and we connect and we just have a good time being business owners. All the stress, all the things that come along with it, we bring it all to the table in this program and we're able to just not feel alone and we're able to get work done and ultimately be a lot more productive. Just recently, depending on when you're watching this, we have up-leveled the Hyperfocus Treehouse, so now there are 3 levels. And if you are if you want to give it a try, you want to try it out, there is a 7-day Jumpstart program, and you can grab that link below. And if you just want to hop right in without trying it out, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm sold, you can go ahead and just join the Treehouse too, and you always get a bonus for taking action right away. So if you want to grab those details, the link is in the comments for the accountability and the consistency showing up for you and your business, and it can completely change the trajectory of your business. All right, make sure you like and subscribe as I drop one new video every single week, and I don't want you to miss a single one.